Welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel, where we bring you critical and in-depth reviews of just about every indie game we can get our hands on. And today we'll be taking a look at Isoland, which just made its way over to the Nintendo Switch. And even though Isoland is actually a mobile port over, I was pretty impressed with the quality of this little point-and-click adventure. Starting off, we immediately dive into the game's very short tutorial, pretty much just showing you how to use items and open menus. And over the course of the tutorial, we open a mysterious box holding a mysterious letter from our friend Mr. Kaka. And it's this letter that invites the main character, Mr. Cotton, who will be your avatar during the entire game, to investigate this mysterious island off the Atlantic coast of the Americas to hopefully figure out what's going on with some sort of electromagnetic disturbance. And immediately upon exiting our little rowboat, we're introduced to the game's very first puzzle. The door on the lighthouse, which acts as your gateway into the entire island itself, seems to be locked with a series of numbers and letters. And this pretty much sets the tone of the puzzles for the entire game. In Isoland, the player will have to be cautious and aware of all details they may be exposed to that seem like obvious puzzle solution elements, as well as things that may even seem to be just part of the environment. Moving through the game's 7 different environments, including docks, crashed spaceships, hidden temples, mysterious statues, and washed-up beaches, you'll encounter a wide variety of puzzles that'll not only require you to use logic, but some critical thinking, as well as items from your inventory. And while initially some of these puzzles may actually seem pretty impossible to solve, the game actually does a really good job of including everything you need to get past every single puzzle solution. However, as mentioned before, sometimes the puzzle solution may seem hidden almost as a background element in the general scenery itself. And then again, even if you do manage to find the puzzle's critical solution, figuring out how to implement it is a whole different story. And while in the mobile version of the game you can pay 99 cents to get a hint for a specific puzzle, in the Switch version you're going to have to rely on your own skills and abilities. However, while characters that you may meet through the game, such as the tenants of the lighthouse, quirky ship captains, or washed-up astronauts, may have some initial dialogue, given certain gaming milestones, the dialogues will change and provide you with certain hints to certain more high-level puzzles. However, while it does seem that the game's NPCs are a little bit oblivious as to what's going on around the island, other than the small hints that they're willing to give about their own particular puzzles, most of the game can be explored in whichever order the player chooses. All doors can be unlocked using simple logic puzzles, so despite needing a certain series of items in a certain order to actually push the game forward, the game doesn't feel too terribly scripted. However, that being said, as mentioned before, there are only 7 areas to explore and only a handful of NPCs to interact with, so the game is decidedly short. Its art style, however, is a little bit surrealistic and storybookish, and does actually maintain the player's attention during the entire 2-hour course of the game. And the game's ambient soundtrack may be more of a background element, but it really doesn't distract the player from their puzzling. However, should you actually beat Isoland, making it to the end of the game, you'll be given a somewhat quizzical message asking you if it's really over. And a quick investigation into the game's achievements will let you know that maybe you didn't complete as much of the game as you thought. There may be new characters, new puzzles, or even new areas to explore that you weren't even aware of on your first pass. And in that sense, should you have enjoyed your first playthrough, there's a good bit of replayability. So all in all, I'd have to say that Isoland, especially for the price tag of just $2, is actually a really solid but short point-and-click adventure. And despite the backstory of the island and the seemingly disjointed nature of all of the different scenarios going on, the puzzles are solid and it is overall pretty enjoyable. So if you're a fan of point-and-click adventures, Isoland is definitely one you'd probably want on your radar as just a quick casual, and you might also want to check out Earthworms, which just went on sale for under $1. But anyway, that does about wrap up the review of Isoland, now on the Nintendo Switch. So if you enjoyed the review or found it helpful, feel free to throw me a like or a comment to show your support, and don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. There are new and unique indies coming out literally every single day, so there's always going to be something new to find right here. But since I can only cover a few games a week, if you want a hint at which games I might be reviewing next, you can follow us on Twitter. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.